G'day, it's Pete here. I'm back for a featured lesson. Now, today we're going to look at all the vast and many conventions that people play over a one no trump opening. Now, this is a really good area to be playing a convention, and there are a lot out there. I probably won't cover all of them, but hopefully I'll cover a good portion of them, and I'll talk about how they work, some of the pros and cons, and just look at a few example hands of how it would actually happen. Anyway, what I wanted to cover today is Landy, Cappelletti, Don't, Multi-Landy, Twerb, Canopy Transfers, and Aspro. Now, lots of these might go by other names, but hopefully this should give you a broad spectrum of what they are. Now, just a brief overview. Basically, I don't have a strong preference between them. There are certain things that I like about some of them and I don't like about others. I think playing a convention in defense to one no trump is a great idea, and most of them achieve very similar things with very slight differences. So as long as you're playing something, it's usually pretty good. You don't need too much there is no one perfect convention. Some have different pros and cons. So as long as you're playing something and you understand it thoroughly, that's the main thing. You don't need to worry too much about, oh, should I change my convention to this one because of things? But just go in, explain them so that when you come up against them, you might understand how they work and give you a bit better of an idea of how these bidding structures actually work. Anyway, we'll jump straight in. So let's just imagine that the opponent's open one no trump. So I'll just go through the conventions and describe what the normal bids are, and just go through them. We won't worry about what the actual hand I've got here is. We're just talking about what the different bids are. So first of all, Landy. So this one is probably the simplest convention. If you're trying to get into a convention, this one's nice and simple. It's only got one artificial bid, and that is 2 clubs. So when the opponent's open one no trump and you come in with 2 clubs, this shows both majors. Now, typically when you're trying to get into these auctions, you're around like 9 to 14 points with unbalanced hands. So for Landy, 2 clubs shows both majors, at least 5-4. Some people play it at least 4-4. And if you bid anything else, then 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades. These are all natural, at least 5 card suits. So you can bid 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades, just naturally. And if you double them instead, this just shows values, so a penalty double. So it's only got one artificial bid. It's a nice, simple one. This is sort of like the stepping into a convention. Like if you wanted to do something, this is probably one. It's got the least memory work, and basically 2 clubs is both majors. Now, one of the really good things that I like about 2 clubs being both majors, and this is one of the strong points. First of all, showing both majors, I think, is one of the really important things that a convention should be doing. It's one of the best, if you have the majors, it could very well be your hand. If you've got just a single suitor, it's less likely to be your hand, but having both majors means that you playing the hand is more likely. So you want a convention that can show both majors, so that's why I think it's important. So 2 clubs used to show both majors, and then what you can do is after this, if your partner has hearts, they can bid 2 hearts. If they've got spades, they can bid 2 spades. But if they want to, and they don't know which suit they should bid, either they've got 3 of both of them or 2 of both of them, they've got equal length, what they can do is bid 2 diamonds. And this says, partner, I want you to tell me what your better suit was. So if we did happen to look at this hand here, if my partner was 3-3 in the majors or 2-2 in the majors, I want to play in hearts. I don't want them picking spades. So having a bid that says, you tell me what your suit is, then here I can bid 2 hearts and we can actually find what fit we actually deserve to play in. So that's Landy. All the bids are natural except for 2 clubs, which says you've got both majors. And if your partner bids 2 diamonds over your 2 club bid, it says, partner, I want you to choose. You tell me what your better suit is. And that way you've got your best chance of actually finding your proper fit. So that's Landy. Only 2 clubs is the majors. So everything else is natural. So one of the downsides of Landy is it doesn't have that many bids for showing different two suited hands. It's only got that two club bid. But it is simple, and it's got the most important one in my eyes, which is showing both majors. And it also has it at the two club level, which gives your partner the room to ask, do you have, like, what's your better major? And next convention, which is pretty popular, is Cappelletti. And this is also what the BBO robots play, so it's probably an important one to learn. Now, what the generic bids are for this is it's got two clubs, is any single suited hand. So anytime you've got like a 6-card suit that you want to bid and show your partner that you've got a single suited hand, you start with two clubs. Now, you could have clubs, diamonds, hearts, or spades. You bid two clubs, and basically your partner's bids over this are two diamonds, pass or correct. So they will just bid two diamonds and try and find out what your suit actually is. Now, I would tend to play pass or correct for lots of the bids, but I'm fairly sure that they only play two diamonds as pass or correct, and then have two hearts and two spades as just like natural suits from your partner instead. And if your partner bids two no trumps, that's like a strong inquiry. Like, I've got a good hand, I'm interested in going further, tell me what your suit is. Now, I find some of those bids a bit clunky, especially if your partner's got diamonds. Might be a bit tough to actually find this. It's good if your partner isn't interested in going on further, which is the vast majority of the time, but occasionally your partner is interested in going on further. Another downside is occasionally you might have an auction go something like this, and now you never actually show your suit and your partner doesn't know whether to compete or not. But anyway, two clubs, any single suited hand. That's the first part of Cappelletti. The second part of Cappelletti is they have a way of showing both majors, so this is important again. Two diamonds is both majors. Now, on BBO it says that it's a 5-5 description. They are lying. If you watch the robots, they do it on 5-4s all the time, and you should be doing it on 5-4s as well. If you've got a 4-4-1, you can considering doing it on 4-4 in the majors as well, depending on partnership style. But two diamonds is used for both majors, hand that's willing to compete. Now, pretty much all of these bids are around 9 to 14 points. You can be a bit stronger, but that's what your partner should really expect, no matter what convention you're really playing. So with Cappelletti, two diamonds, both majors, at least 5-4, even if the BBO description says 5-5, they're lying to you. And what this means is if you bid two hearts or two spades, this shows hearts and a minor, or spades and a minor. Deflator Mouse. Gib has a very loose relationship with the truth. Yeah, you have to understand that when you read the description of what Gib is saying on BBO, then often they're like not completely accurate. Sometimes they're completely lying, and you just have to understand what general problems there are. So I find it interesting to look at what the descriptions are and then see the hands, and if they don't match up, try and work out why they don't match up, and it will improve your bidding judgment in future times. Anyway, back to Cappelletti, where two hearts and two spades, these show that suit and a minor, at least 5-4. Now, some people play it 5-4 either way. Some people play it as 4 major, 5 minor. Some people play it 5 major and 4 minor. So it's important to work out which way you're going to do it. And what are the pros and cons of them? So if you have it as 5-4 either way, it means you can bid this on more hands, which is kind of good. But it also means that it's tougher to actually find the correct fit. Now, do you want the frequency of being able to bid it, or do you want to be able to find the correct spot more often? Now, I find that being able to find the correct spot more often is more important than being able to bid it as many times as possible. So for me, I would choose it to be 5-4, and I think I like it having 5 of that major and 4 of a minor, but you could have it as 4 of that major and 5 of the minor. As long as you have a little bit of definition, I think it's a bit better than having it 5-4 either way. But people do have different agreements, and that's fine. So for Cappelletti, just a recap of the bids. Two clubs is both majors. two clubs isn't both majors. Two clubs is any single suited hand. Two diamonds is both majors. Two hearts and two spades are that suit and a minor. And if you bid two no trumps and over this, this would be both minors. So they're your different bids over Cappelletti. If you double, you're showing a strong hand. All right. The next one is don't. Now, don't is basically a convention that you should only really consider playing against strong no trumps. And over weak no trumps, you don't really want to play it, because what it is double is a conventional bid. So it's giving up on your values double, which is okay against a strong no trump because you don't often penalize them too much. But if you can't penalize a weak no trump, then people can start doing outlandish things and trying to get away with stuff. So I don't recommend playing don't against a weak no trump, because being able to double the weak, like, even though it's a low frequency thing, the threat of being able to double the weak no trump causes them some issues. Like, they can't stretch hands into it. They can't necessarily open it in third seat on weird things, which isn't much, but being able to say, like, being able to have a penalty double, I think is important. And occasionally you do get them, so that's why I like it. Anyway, so for don't, I reckon it's good to play it only against a strong no trump if you do. So what it is, it starts with a double, and double is any single suited hand. Kind of like the Cappelletti bid where two clubs was any single suited hand. This time double is any single suited hand, and your partner bids two clubs, and this would be pass or correct. What this now means is that if you bid two clubs, it shows clubs and a higher ranking suit. So you could have clubs and diamonds, clubs and hearts, clubs and spades, clubs and, yeah, any of them. You've got clubs and a higher ranking suit, and you can be 5-4 either way. So this has got a bit of the issue of, like, some people even do these on 4-4s, again, depending on style. It's tough to identify the right spot, but you are getting into their auction a lot. So two clubs is clubs and a higher. Two diamonds is diamonds and a higher suit. So diamonds and hearts or diamonds and spades. And two hearts is both majors, so hearts and spades. And then people have two spades. It's just a single suited overcall, similar to the double, but they either have this as one as a more constructive one or a weaker one, depending on what you like to play. But two spades would be single suited. So that's don't. So double is any single suited hand, and two clubs is clubs in a higher suit, two diamonds is diamonds in a higher suit, two hearts is hearts in a higher suit, which is hearts and spades, and two spades is natural. So the next one I was going to talk about is multi-landy, and this is probably more likely to have a pen double than a don't double, even if the upside was similar versus a weak no trump. Like, I don't know. You get single suited hands quite a bit. I'd say like 9 to 14 points with a 6-card suit would happen a fair bit more likely than just having like a 15-16 count. Depends on what you make your penalty doubles on. Anyway, multi-landy. This is probably my go-to convention. Doesn't mean it's the best one, but it's what I tend to play most often. Which is just an extension of landy. So it's got my favorite bid in there, two clubs, both majors. Fantastic bid. I love being able to show both majors with a two club bid. The other bids of this is two diamonds, which is a single suited major. So I tend not to worry about the minors here. So you've either got 6 hearts or you've got 6 spades. Multi-landy is really focused on the majors. So if you've got a 2 heart bid or a 2 spade bid, you can start with 2 diamonds. And if you've got 2 hearts would be hearts and a minor, so 5 hearts and 4 minor. Some people play it the other way around if you want to, with 4 hearts and a 5-card minor. And the other one is 2 spades with spades and a minor. So the multi-landy, 2 clubs is both majors, 2 diamonds is a single suited major, 2 hearts is hearts and a minor, 2 spades is spades and a minor. Just got a question. How do you show a strong balanced hand over a strong no trump when playing don't? You pass. You don't worry about it. You assume that with the points being pretty evenly split, you're not going to miss a game, so you don't worry about trying to penalise them, so you just pass and possibly double them later, but yeah, just try and collect it in 50s if you've got like a really strong hand. So basically the assumption is that's a low frequency thing, so giving it up for some other bid is reasonable, and there's some arguments to that as well. But yeah, multi-landy, 2 clubs, both majors, 2 diamonds, single suited major, 2 hearts and 2 spades, that major and a minor. This is probably my favorite convention, but all the conventions are pretty similar. The reason I like this is when bidding over a no trump, I find that most often the time you want to bid when you have the majors or a major, and multi-landy is completely focused on it, and you sort of don't worry about the hands where you have the minors, because you're probably not going to win the hand anyway, and it gives the most definition to all those different major suit bids, so that's why I like that, but all of them are pretty similar. Would you always play penalty double versus third seat, not vulnerable, 1 no trump to open to protect versus Sykes, even if playing don't? Yes. So the question was, if it goes like pass, 1 no trump, even if you're playing don't, would you not play don't in that spot? Basically, me and my regular partner have the agreement that no matter what point range people say it is, a third seat 1 no trump opening, we treat it as a weak no trump. So whatever you do to a weak no trump, do the same to it like a third seat strong no trump. This happens more at higher level stuff where people lie about their points and put all sorts of weird things in there, because of the leeway of third seat openings. But yeah, treating third seat openings as weak no trumps, even if they say 15 to 17, is a decent idea. So yes, I would get my penalty double into a third seat 1 no trump opening. So I wouldn't play don't there. But you know, depends on what sort of field you're playing in. If you're playing just club bridge, then you want to, like, people won't psych 1 no trump there, so you probably don't need to. So it depends on what sort of field you're playing in, how much you have to worry about that. Anyway, on to the next convention, which is TWRB. So this has it shows lots and lots of different hand types, but everything's pretty artificial. So what TWRB is 2 clubs is either diamonds single suited or the next 2 higher suits. So this would be diamonds or the majors. So you've either got the next suit up with a 6-card suit or a single suited hand, or if you don't have that, you have the next 2 following. So 2 clubs would be diamonds single suited or both majors. Now, while this has the both majors in the 2 club bid, it doesn't have that benefit of partner bidding 2 diamonds to ask you what your favorite suit is. So it's very similar to like 2 diamonds being the majors or things like that. So under those rules, if you had 2 diamonds being alerted in TWRB, it's either hearts, so the next suit up, or the following 2 suits, which would be spades and clubs. So you'd either have single suited hearts or a hand with spades and clubs. If you bid 2 hearts, you've got spades or the next 2 up, which are the minors. And if you bid 2 spades, then you have clubs or hearts and diamonds. And if you bid 2 no trumps, you have a 2-suited hand without touching suits. So you've either got hearts and clubs or spades and diamonds. So that's what TWRB is. It's got lots of different hand definition in there. So you can get all your different hand types out and sort of know what your partner has. It's not particularly great if the opponents get in the way and you never actually discover what partner has. But sometimes they get in the way and they bid the wrong thing because they don't know what you have. So it's sort of a two-edged sword. But one of the other things is it's tough for the responder to actually support partner efficiently. And there are certain hand types which are a bit awkward. Like if you've got hearts and diamonds, you don't really want to be having to bid at the 3 level every time you've got hearts and diamonds. Okay, so you might be just treating that hand as single suited hearts sometimes. So it's a bit awkward where you have to judge, can you show it appropriately? Because it does a lot more at the 3 level, but it's got more definition in some areas. But you can't always show the exact hand you want to because it's not at the appropriate level. So that's TWRB, which it has a fair bit of conventional stuff to it. The next one is canapé transfers. So basically all your bids are transfers. So 2 clubs would show diamonds, 2 diamonds would show hearts, 2 hearts would show spades, and 2 spades would show clubs. So all your bids are transfers if you're playing canapé transfers. And the general idea is if you've just got like this normal hand, you just transfer to your long suit. So you transfer to your 5 card suit. If you've got a really good hand, so say you're like distributional or you've got more values and you want to show partner you're a strong hand, what you do is you transfer to your shorter suit. So if you had the auction go something like this, you've transferred to diamonds and then bid spades. So you've shown longer spades than diamonds and a stronger hand. So if you ever bid again and bid a new suit, then you are showing your second suit's longer. That's what canapé means, and it would also be used to show a really good hand. If you've just got like a weak competitive hand, you only show one of your suits. So basically with this, some of the issues are that you have to choose early, and it's tough to describe just normal 2-suited hands, but it's good for showing those strong hands. Like if you are still interested in trying to find games over 1 no trump, this is a decent sort of approach to still do it, because you've got sort of point differentiation. So if you are just trying to battle for the part scores, this one's probably not the best convention, but if you want to still keep the idea that bidding game alive, then this is good because you can show your suit lengths, you can show your values, or if you still want to just get in there and just try like you've got a single suited hand, then this is also okay. So it's got some pros, it's got some cons, and just a different sort of approach there. Does it show 5-4 plus? It would probably show yeah, so it depends on your agreements. So definitely the second suit's at least 5, but could be 6, and the first suit you transfer to is usually 4. So I'd say it's like 4 and 5 plus, but like if you had a 5-5 shape, you can still do it, but you have to work out how you can do those. Final convention I wanted to talk about is Aspro. So what Aspro is when you bid 2 clubs, this shows hearts and another suit. So if you had hearts and any other suit, you bid 2 clubs. And the way this follows up is if partner has 3 card hearts support, they bid 2 hearts. Okay, doesn't matter if you've got a 4 card heart suit. Like you could be 5-4 either way or things like that. But 2 clubs shows hearts and another suit. If your partner doesn't like hearts, they can bid 2 diamonds, which says, tell me what your other suit is, and I don't have 3 card heart support for you. So you are like, even though you're 5-4 either way, it's a pretty good way of finding out what your actual, like the proper strain is, of being able to find, like, with the way it's set up, you're usually pretty good at finding the appropriate strain because you know whether you've got at least a 4-3 heart fit. There are some times that it's tough to diagnose what the other suit is. Also, if the opponents get in the way, it can be a bit complicated. But 2 clubs, hearts and another, and 2 diamonds is spades and another, with your partner bidding 2 spades if they've got 3 card suit, and 2 hearts if they want to find out what your other suit is. And what this means is 2 hearts is just a single suited hand, and 2 spades is a single suited hand. Now I also don't mind this one as well. It's focusing on the majors as well, which I think is a really good strategy for any convention that is coming in over a no trump, because again, that's your most likely suits that you're going to try and bid. So that's just a quick rundown of various conventions. So we covered Landy, where just 2 clubs is the majors. Cappelletti, where you had 2 clubs, any single suited hand, 2 diamonds, both majors. 2 major is that and a minor. We talked about Don't, where it gives up the double and it uses double to say that I have any single suited hand, and anything else you bid is that suit and a higher. We talked about Multi-Landy, where 2 clubs is both majors, just like Landy, and then 2 diamonds is a single suited major, and then 2 major is that one and a minor. We talked about Twerb, which is you either have the suit just above, single suited, or the next 2. And we talked about canapé transfers, where you transfer to the suit you want, and if you had a really good hand, you transfer to your short suit and then bid your long one. And Aspro, where you've got 2 clubs is hearts and another, 2 diamonds is spades and another, and 2 major is single suited that hand. Just got a question. Which system do you like best, and does it change at match points? So which convention, I take it you mean? So generally I like to play Multi-Landy, or something similar to Multi-Landy, like I play a few different variations of that. If you're playing match points, again, the focus on the majors is probably not as important, and I think being able to bid more of your 2 suited hands might be a decent idea. So if you're playing match points, I reckon Don't would be a reasonable choice. Cappelletti also gets to show various of them. I don't actually change my system between match points and imps because of the memory work, but you definitely could do that, but that would be a lot of work. So I tend just to play something similar to Multi-Landy most of the time. But yeah, good question. Anyway, yeah, let's now look at some actual hands. So let's say that we had this hand. So we've finally gotten to looking at the hands. Now they've opened 1 no trump, and we have a 4-6 in the majors. So how would we bid this at various systems? So if we were playing Landy, nice and simple, we would bid 2 clubs showing both majors, and our partner would either bid their favorite major, or if they had no preference, they would bid 2 diamonds. So playing Landy would have a good chance of actually being able to show this 6-4 hand, or at least get to play in hearts, even showing both majors. Playing Cappelletti, we would have to bid 2 diamonds showing both majors, and now our partner just has to pick their favorite major. So sometimes we'll be playing in spades when we've got a heart fit, but we get to show that. If we were playing Don't, we would bid 2 hearts to show both majors, hearts and spades. Again, partner just has to choose which major they like best, but at least we got into the auction. And if we're playing Multi-Landy, comes back to a 2 club bid showing both majors. If we were playing Twerb, we would bid 2 clubs again to show diamonds, single suited, or both majors. So if the opponents don't bid, the auction would go like this, with 2 diamonds not actually asking what our favorite suit is, but saying if you've got a single suited diamond, please pass. And here 2 hearts would say I have both majors. And if we were playing canapé transfers, I would say this one's just a minimum-ish hand. I'm not going to show the strong hand, so I would just transfer to hearts and try and pass there. So we don't get to show our spades, which might not work the best some of the time. And if we were playing Aspro, we could show this as hearts and another. So we'd bid 2 clubs saying hearts and another. If our partner had 3-card hearts, they would bid that. If they had spades, then if they didn't like it, they could bid 2 diamonds. You could possibly show this as spades and another, where if partner's got 3 spades, they bid 2 spades, and if they don't, they bid 2 hearts. Both of them kind of work. You need to, if you're playing Aspro, discuss how you show all these different hand types. Anyway, that's the first example hand. This next one, we have a 0-5-4-4. So let's say it goes 1 no trump. So how would we show this? Playing Landy, if we wanted to bid on this hand, all we get to do is bid 2 hearts. Now, this doesn't say that we've got any 4-card minus. It just says that, hey, I've got some hearts and this is where I want to play. Not a great deal of definition, but we still get in there and bid that. If we were playing Cappelletti, again we would bid 2 hearts, but this time it would show hearts and a minor, and if partner asked, we'd just have to tell, like, pick one of them. We'd probably pick clubs. If we were playing don't, we could bid 2 clubs, which would say I've got clubs and a higher suit. And now if partner actually bid 2 diamonds, saying is diamonds one of your suits, you could actually pass that. So you've got sort of like a gamble of playing any of your 3 suits, playing don't at the 2 level, but the opponents will probably come in there and bid spades anyway. Playing multi-landy, again you'd bid 2 hearts, just like Cappelletti, showing hearts and a minor. Playing twerb, so here we'd have to choose what we wanted to do. So this one's kind of an awkward one for twerb. Now we could either bid 2 no trump, showing non-touching suits with clubs and hearts. We could show it as single suited hearts. If we want to play it at the 2 level, we have to show it as single suited hearts by bidding 2 diamonds. Or if we wanted to, we could show diamonds and hearts by bidding 3 club. Oh yeah, we could either bid 2 no trumps showing clubs and hearts, or 3 clubs showing diamonds and hearts. But so this hand is not a good hand for twerb. To be able to try and show your hand appropriately, I'd probably, like, how you'd describe this one, it's pretty awkward. Anyway, canapé transfers, again, this one's not great for that. Your hands, like, you'd want better hearts to actually do a canapé, so I'd probably just transfer to hearts and pass. And playing Aspro, you can bid 2 clubs, showing hearts and another. Alright, so let's look at this one. Here we've got single suited spades. So how would we bid this with the various different hands? So if we got a 1 no trump opening here, what we would do in playing landy is we just bid spades. Nice and simple. Cappelletti, what you have to do is bid 2 clubs, any single suited hand, and if the opponents don't come in, your partner bids 2 diamonds, pass or correct, we would then follow it up with 2 spades. So that's how you could bid it playing Cappelletti. Playing don't, depending on your style, you could either double first to say I have a single suited hand, and then when partner bids 2 clubs, you could bid 2 spades. If you played a direct 2 spade bid, which is also natural, as a stronger one, this one would probably fit into it. Semi-constructive 2 spade bid, depending on which way you play it around. If you're playing multi-landy, you would bid 2 diamonds to show a single suited major. And again, if over this, partner would bid 2 hearts, pass or correct. And would bid 2 spades like that. Playing twerb, what you could do is you can bid 2 hearts showing spades or both minors. And then if partner bids 2 spades, you would just pass it. Canapé transfers, you would just transfer to it just the same, and then just pass. And if you're playing Aspro, you'd just bid 2 spades. So this is how you can bid it in the various different ways. Do we have any more hands? Yeah. So here we've got a hand with 5 diamonds and 4 spades. So this is one of the tricky ones. So this depends on style. So first of all, landy, how would you bid this? You would just bid your diamonds. You'd never actually get to show your spades here, which isn't perfect, but you get to bid something, get in the way. If you're playing Cappelletti, you may not be able to bid on this. This is where it really comes into what sort of style is your 2 spade bid. Is it 5-4 either way, in which case you can bid 2 spades? Is it 5 spades and 4 of a minor? Or is it 4 spades and 5 of a minor? Now, I think the more common approach is that you show 5 cards in the suit that you actually bid, so 5 spades. So if that's the case, even though you'd like to bid on this hand, I think you'd just have to pass. One final touch-up that some pairs do over the strong no trump, they feel like the don't sort of style of not needing to double it is appropriate. So some people play double as I have a 5 card minor and a 4 card major, both undisclosed, just as a way of trying to get into these auctions, which you can't do with the other bids. But it's really difficult to actually find the correct strain doing that, but at least you can try and compete if you don't want to have your penalty double. Anyway, Cappelletti, typically you'd just have to pass with this hand. If you're playing don't, you can bid 2 diamonds, showing diamonds and a higher suit. Multi-landy, again you have to pass unless you are willing to play 2 spades as 4 spades and a 5-card minor, or if you're willing to give up that double to show an undisclosed 5-card minor and an undisclosed 4-card major. Twerb, if you wanted to show this hand, you have to bid 2 no trump, showing non-touching suits, so either clubs and hearts or diamonds and spades. So you get, you have to play at the 3 level, which is a bit scary. Or you could choose to show it as single suited diamonds, not great. This one, canapé transfers, there's getting close to being able to transfer and bid again, but you'd want extra shape, so here you'd just transfer to diamonds and pass. And Aspro, you would bid 2 diamonds, showing spades and another, and if partner had 3 spades, they'd bid 2 spades and you'd pass it. If your partner didn't have 3 spades, they would bid 2 hearts, and then you'd follow it up with 3 diamonds. So that's how you'd bid it playing Aspro. And then finally, a hand with both minors. So how would you bid these? So if you're playing Landy, I didn't discuss it, but a 2 no trump bid should be both minors. So here you could just bid 1 no trump, 2 no trump. Playing Cappelletti, 2 no trump should be both minors. So 1 no trump, 2 no trump. Playing don't, you can bid 2 clubs, showing clubs and a higher suit. You still might be able to bid 2 no trumps because this one's a pretty extreme one anyway. Playing Twerb, you would bid 2 hearts, spades, and single suited spades or both minors. Now, that's pretty decent, but if the opponents come in and bid something like 3 hearts, it's really hard for your partner to actually judge what's going on. But that's how you could show both minors playing Twerb. Canapé transfers. This one's a bit awkward because you've got 6 diamonds and 5 clubs and a pretty decent hand. You could transfer 2 diamonds and bid clubs and pretend like you had longer clubs, but kind of a bit awkward there. And Aspro, again, 2 no trumps should be both minors, so that's how you can show these various systems. So there were just a few different example hands. We talked a lot about different conventions there are. You can choose them. I really don't have a strong opinion between which is best and which is best or things like that, but it's important to understand what these conventions are trying to achieve, what hands they do well on, what hands they don't do well on. Do they give you a broad spectrum of hands you can bid on, but less definition for the responder to actually find what to do afterwards? Or do you give responder lots of good definition or ways to find the appropriate fit? How much focuses on the majors or things like that? So lots of different conventions. Hopefully I gave you a reasonable idea of how they work and better understanding of them, so when you come up against them, you know what those bids are and you're more familiar with them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this featured lesson on different conventions of defending 1 no trump. Anyway, well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.